Good afternoon. My name is Lorrie. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. It is Blabfest Friday, and you know how I like to just talk about anything kind of related to quilting. I'm just sitting here. The sun has come out, but it is a gray, cold, windy day here in West Virginia. I would like to share my view from my window so you can see the stained glass that I collect that sometimes inspires me for quilting. Let me turn the camera around. Here is the bottom half of my window. I'm going to slowly tilt this up so you can see my friend Barb made me the snowman stained glass. And the discs at the top have things like a pineapple, a seashell, and the Don't Tread on Me Gadsden flag type thing stamped on it. Doesn't look as gray in the camera as it does actually looking out. I hope you grab a cup of coffee or tea, or maybe even a soda, and join us for a little bit of blabbing about quilts. Topic number 1, block parade. Last Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving, I did not have my blocks from Monday finished, but I have them all finished this week. I have 4 of the Lazy Daisy with the chain stitch underneath. Let me share those with you. Here is the first one I did for the tutorial. And here are the other 3 blocks. Then I have the buttonhole stitch. Remember on Monday we reviewed buttonhole stitch. So these do not all look the same. A couple of them are simple buttonhole stitch or blanket stitch, whichever you prefer to call it. And some of them are the varied stitch length. And one of them is very dense and one of them is not. And I did add a chain stitch to the one to make it look more closed in and complete. So next week coming up, we are doing some fancy, never before done stitches on this channel with buttonhole stitch. They're combo stitches. It will be a lot of fun for the next couple weeks in December with buttonhole stitch. And remember, in the tutorial I said, feather stitch and buttonhole stitch, they're the same stitch, but feather stitches, it's at a slant. That's the only difference between the two. That's why I like those so much. Never really thought about that before. The second set of things for Block Parade are pictures from the trip to my sister's house. Sadie, my great niece, my sister's granddaughter, we added some big stitch quilting to a doll quilt she normally has very common names for her dolls, but this doll is Big Boy Donut because he is baby size, and he is ceramic. So Big Boy Donut got a quilt all of his own, and Sadie helped. We used a doll body needle, which is rather long, and then I would put the stitch in and she would pull the needle through, and that was how we worked some of it. We also sorted some fabric. We played with hot colors and cold colors and neutrals. We had a lot of fun sorting and resorting fabric scraps. I'm so glad that she is interested in fabric, and she loves to go to the sort store so she can look at and touch new fabric. Topic number 2, a friend, a new friend. And I have been subscribed to this channel for a while, but I haven't seen anything pop up, and I I'm a bad person. I turn off notifications because I can't stand that little ding, ding, ding. So it pops up. I see it. I watch it. Anyway, I've been subscribed to this channel for a while, and it popped up with a show called, let me look at the title, The Biggest Myths in Quilting. So Yeah is the name of the channel, and Brody is the one presenting the myths. I think that sometimes they have other presenters. I'm not sure because I do not watch that channel all the time. But they are good at giving information. They do have a nice playlist going and lots of facts and things that we probably all should know. I hope you tune in and watch The Myths of Quilting. I agreed with most of these. Topic 3, what you doing? I did get all of the October blocks colored in for my weather quilt. Now I need to tally up what pieces need to be cut. I will probably do that this evening. But this week, Dan is away hunting with our friends in Pennsylvania, and it has been all about honey, hearth, and home. The things that Dan normally takes care of, I got to do too. I did not realize how much I was going to miss him while he was away on his little trip. Whew. Honey has been a little out of sorts. She came to us in March, so she's never been here for hunting season, and she has really missed him also. She's used to coming back and forth between the sewing room and the living room. So Honey has been a big need for attention. That's how I'll put it. And the hearth, well, firewood doesn't bring itself in. So we were expecting lots of snow the other day. Thank goodness they were wrong with that forecast. So I had to carry firewood up on the porch by myself. Usually we do that together because that way no one has to go up and down the steps with loads of firewoods in crates. And the last H home, Dan does most of the cooking. But I'm not suffering and starving because I made up a list of menus and I've been working through leftovers in the fridge. And let me just say, I am so sick of dishes made with that Costco chicken that one Costco chicken has lasted for 5 meals, and I made broth and put the rest in the freezer because I am done eating Costco chicken for a little while anyway. That's enough. So it's all been about honey, hearth, and home this week, and I didn't get a lot done, but some things. Topic number 4, out of sight. Have you ever put something so well out of sight that you can't find it? It's in such a safe place that you can't find it. Now, we have been back in West Virginia since the beginning of November. And the other day I started thinking, I need to start working on the next Sherlock Holmes project so that it is ready to go. And I could not for the life of me find my book. I probably looked through things for 45 minutes before I found it, right where I left it, in the box of jewelry repair and jewelry making tools. Yeah, that's where I put it, to store it, to come back to West Virginia so that it wouldn't get lost or mutilated. I even put it in a plastic bag to keep it safe. 45 minutes of lost time because I didn't think to unpack it from there. What do you pack away in such a safe place that it takes you forever to find? I bet some people have hidden Christmas gifts from themselves and don't know where they put them. Just saying. that brings me to, while I'm talking about that book being hidden, that brings me to my plans for the next sew along. It is not going to be as intense or nearly as long as the one for A Study in Scarlet. The next one I want to do, and it will start in February because we will finish up A Study in Scarlet at the end of January. The next one is from the book A Sign of Four, and it will be the same block over and over, but using up scraps. And I think it will take their 12 chapters. So at minimum, it would take 12 weeks. Maximum, it would take 14 weeks to get it done. I am planning on making 20 blocks, and they're nice big blocks. I think they're 16-inch blocks, nice big blocks to work with. It's a block that I modified from A Study in Scarlet, and it has a fantastic secondary pattern. You will love it when you see it. So that is my plan for finding that book. I'm going to start recording the audio later today. Topic number 5, treasure. Now, the first one here is Diana sent me a picture. Her son bought her some fantastic fabrics, Christmas fabrics and some other pre-cuts. I am glad that she shared those with us. She is such a positive influence here on my channel. She always has good things to say. Even when I mess something up, she always has a positive spin when she writes a comment. She just recently had back surgery, and she mentioned it in the comments, so I know that it was out there for other people to see. So, major back surgery, 3 months before she can twist or move or bend. So please keep Diana in your thoughts and prayers during the holiday season, that she recovers well and her family takes good care of her and gets her back on her feet as quickly as possible. Thank you, Diana, for sharing those fabrics with us. Now, I have some other treasures to show you too, but I thought I would start with that one from Diana. While we were at my sister's, over the summer, she found a $5 quilt frame, and the lady assured her that everything is in these boxes. So I need to pull this out and see if I need to buy any hardware. But if the lady told her it was in there, it probably is in there. And I have never seen one quite like this. I'm hoping that it will tilt and fold so I can stand it someplace out of the way in this small house where there's everything everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to stand it out of the way. Whatever. I am so funny. I also, my sister and my great niece sent this box home. Some of you might recognize the box from the Countdown to Christmas. I have not purchased one of these boxes. I bought this box with a few things in it at a yard sale for a whole $1. It was loaded with books and stuff from last year's and from 2024. And the lady was moving and she's like, take it all for $1. Okay, don't have to tell me twice. And I hadn't even looked through the box to see what was in it. It was like a surprise. So I sent some things to my sister in this box. She doesn't sew, she cooks. So it was other things, tablecloths, that kind of stuff. And she sent it, she doctored it up and sent it back. And my great niece helps buy things for other people. She picks things out. So some of these will be great surprises. Yesterday, on December the 3rd, the number 3 was a dog toy. It was a squirrel for Honey, and she had so much fun with that silly squirrel dog toy all day long. So we have been having great fun with that box also. It truly is a treasure. Topic number 6 is challenge. And I have been talking about I consolidated scraps into several containers. And this month I am challenging myself to sit down and cut up scraps during the evening while I watch a movie and just process some. So let me show you the system I came up with to help me get some things processed. And I'm amazed so far. Let me show you the videotape. I promised I would share some video of how I'm setting up my scraps. So on the bottom of this mess, I have a cookie tray from the Dollar Tree way back when everything was still $1. Not a real heavy special cookie sheet, but it was clean and it works for things around the sewing room. So I have it set up so I can take this from my sewing room into the living room. I have a container with square rulers, and I have my rotary cutter. So that's all self-contained, and I take those out and lay them around on the desk. I have a basket for scraps that are garbage. And then as I'm cutting things, and move that over there, I put my blocks in stacks in this basket so that I can put them away. So I put all the 1.5s together, all of the 2.5s, so on and so forth. Mostly in that basket. And I bought another little cutting mat, and I have my turn mat with I call it a pie crust edge. I take that with me. And then I have this tray, and I try not to stack it up with too many things. I want to get everything done in the span of a movie. So these ones, they need checked. Some of them may be 1.5, but I can see this is not even. So I suspect that about half of this is not 1.5, and they go in different piles. So I have lots of things to cut this evening as I'm sitting there. A lot of these ones are strips. So this pile's a little bit bigger than usual because a lot of it's things that just need to be checked, and it will be strips. And to keep myself straight, I made myself a chart up till Christmas. And you can see that on the 2nd, I didn't get anything cut. That was when I colored all of my weather blocks. So I kicked it back and forth. Should I count them or should I not? And I decided to count them. And a lot of scraps, if I can get a 1.5-inch block out of it, that's what I do. But yesterday, you can see yesterday's total, I got a lot of 4.5-inch squares out of some of the scraps from yesterday, and 3.5. So they were bigger. My actual favorite is the 2.5s. I love those. They are my favorite scrap to work with. Some of my friends are like, oh, those are so small. And others are okay with that. And some of my friends will not even touch at 1.5. That is considered way too small. And anything that I cannot get a 1.5 out of, but it still has enough to have seam allowance, goes in the crumb bin. And I will talk about the crumb bin later. You've seen crumbs with me before. We've even sorted crumbs a long, long time ago. So we will come back to that. But my goal, and I will flip to another page when I get to it, or add to this page when I get to it, but my goal is to cut most days in December and process a lot of scraps. And if I tell you about it, maybe, just maybe, I will get some of it done. Topic number 7, Literary Corner. So last week, as I was editing the video As we were headed to my sister's, I discovered that the camera had shut off before we got to the last quilt section and article in that magazine. So today we are going to finish up the color wash quilt, and I think there might be one more after it, from that British magazine. So let's go to the videotape. Today I really am going to finish up the Patchwork and Quilting magazine from the UK. Unfortunately, the camera must have shut itself, I've never had it do that, shut itself off when I was taping the last section, and it cut out the color wash calendar quilt. I love this idea, and the author wanted to make specialty quilts back in 2000, and so she used a list of flowers of the month, and then she took it further and used birthstones of the month and picked blocks, one per month, to make a color wash quilt. And she used, it says 10 by 10 blocks. So there are several quilts that she made up. This one is all the first one that was on that last page with, and she picked blocks that were related to Century of Progress, February of Broken Hearts. They should look familiar if you're doing the Study in Scarlet quilt. I modified the block that we're doing, but that should look familiar. King David's Crown for March, Basket Block for April, Heart's Desire for May, Castor and Pollux for June, Providence for July, Birthday Star for August, Circling Swallows for September, Autumn Leaves for October, Grandmother's Puzzle for November. I like this block. For a 10-inch block, that would take a lot of piecing. Well, maybe not so much. And then December, the Carpenter's Wheel done in red and green. That was all. Let me flip back to the quilt. There's the quilt again. And she put nice wide pieces, setting pieces, and nice wide border to set off her lovely blocks. And then she talks about making patchworks using the 10 by 10 grid. And she has some fantastic patchwork pieces that she just did the drawings of. And here's another set of patchwork pieces that she did the drawings for. And she did things like snowflake, bird's nest, tripwire-ish chain. April is nine patch, and so on and so forth. I like this with the flying geese and the variegated colors. I think that's pretty cool. I also like this block for August, and it's called Sunbeam. So she just took lots of blocks and she designed them on a 10 by 10 grid. I think this would be good with a 12 by 12 grid. And now we are done with that article. If you are interested in this kind of quilt, I will design us one to play if you'd like, along with the other things that we do. Just let me know. And we are on to the next article, A New Day Dawns. This article is interesting. The lady that wrote it, she and her husband combined families to make their own new family, and she made blocks that commemorated all kinds of things in their new lives together. And so she hadn't finished it yet, but you could see, if you look closely, there's all kinds of little hidden secret things in her blocks. Very interesting. And she tells the story And she also tells how not to do patchwork. So she has lots of interesting things. How not to do patchwork? Do not pay attention. Pay no attention to maths. So she's saying you really should. Anyway, cute blocks. I hope that she has by now turned this into something that her family can enjoy. And then they add some basic directions at the end of their magazine. Any little topic you'd like to think about. They do a book review. I think I have seen this book, but other than that, I don't think I have ever seen any of these books here in America. Oh, nope, I lie. I've seen this one by Jody Davis. I have, the paper piece one by Jody Davis. So these are very old books. They've been around for a while. Exhibitions that we missed a long time ago. The notice board, and I like how they put the little, there's a pinwheel. And it's actually, oh no, it's just a pinwheel. And then, you can't really see the pattern on Frogs Have Fun here. I see there's frogs, but they're very hard to see. I love the colors of that quilt. And this vest, that was a very big thing back in the day. That is a fantastic vest. The background makes that with the white, or with the black outlines. Nice, almost perfect modern quilt. And then the web directory. Half of these are probably not in business anymore. COVID probably took care of most of those. Knocked them right out of business. And then like a section of business cards for England. There's the pattern for the anemone wall hanging that we looked at last week. And they have paper piecing patterns in here. I love this star block. Love that star block. Star block 21. Wow, that's a lot of pieces. And then this is for that star quilt way back in the beginning, and on the front cover, cross and crown. They made a table runner out of that. And the palm trees. See why these could be so freeform? Because they look like wiggly sticks. Just saying. And there is the quilting template that they used to make that fantastic pillow, because they were inspired by the quilted clothing and classified advertisements. See, I love when they would put things in like, look at that. Wish I'd gotten my hands on that magazine. I have a thing for feathered stars, and you all know it. At any rate, that wraps up this episode, this lovely magazine, and we will start with looking at some other literary work next week. Topic number 8, viewer contributions. Yay! So my Michigan neighbor sent a picture of her beautiful purple quilt. I love the way the movement of this quilt, if you will, the diagonal lines. And she has such a good eye for color. I love all these rich purples. And she also pieced the back. This is a perfect quilt. Very colorful, very beautiful. Thank you, Cheryl, for sharing your beautiful work with us. And the other viewer contribution I have. Some of us, when we get to this, I don't want to call it a silly season, the Christmas season between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we sometimes lose that calm that we had earlier in the year, and people start to act silly and obnoxious, and we become less of what we want to be, less grateful, less kind to each other. Somewhere in there we know we should be, and it shouldn't be the only time we're kind to each other, but sometimes we lose a little of that. So I want you to think about the joys you had, the best Christmas you ever had, and what made it the best Christmas you ever had. And I'm going to pop up a couple pictures of Sadie and Santa, because Sadie and my brother-in-law Buzz love Christmas. Love Christmas, like my sister says. And they went to a Christmas tree lighting and had a wonderful time. And Sadie and Santa look so happy. So we need to all find that joy during this silly season when we start to slip and, well, when you go into the store and you get run over by tons of people with shopping carts and pushing and shoving and, ugh. But we need to find the joy of that Christmas tree lighting and enjoying the lights and the peace and the songs. And I hope that you have time to enjoy and relax during this next week and not stress or worry. Remember to take care of yourself and be happy. Find that happy place. Maybe it will be with your sewing machine. Who knows? Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, help my channel grow, and make my silly season even better.